Okay, if you have the word lifestyle written anywhere in your content strategy, your content pillars, your goals, today's video is truly for you because we have brought in the absolute expert on lifestyle content creation, how to actually grow and build a brand and a business and a following on social media as a lifestyle influencer or a lifestyle content creator. I am so excited for you to hear everything we talk about in today's video. So with all that being said, we have a lot of work to do together today. Let's get into how to actually grow as a lifestyle influencer, a lifestyle creator, and let's go to work together today. Okay, so today, talking about lifestyle content, how to grow as a lifestyle content creator on social media, we have brought in the ultimate authority to the busy blooming office today. We are coming to work on a very special day, not only this week, but also next week. We have Alyssa, also known as InspiredMediaCo, on the podcast at the busy blooming office today. I feel so deeply honored and grateful that Alyssa wanted to collaborate, not only on this podcast, but on her podcast as well. I had the privilege of going to California a couple of weeks ago and meeting her in person. We recorded an episode, a bunch of TikToks, reels, we went for lunch, and I'm so excited to have her over at Busy Blooming today. I'm sure you follow Alyssa. She has hundreds of thousands of followers talking about social media content creation in a way that absolutely no one does it like her. If you have ever heard somebody say you coded content or unselfish content or lifestyle pillar or a niche down within yourself, like that is all Alyssa. She has this like unique dictionary of content, like so many signature ways that she approaches social media and content creation, and she is just the most inspiring person. Like, I have looked up to her for so many years. You guys, I'm telling you from the source, as someone who met her in real life, she is the embodiment of success. Like, you actually have no idea. She is the blueprint of creator CEO. Getting to see her work and actually like the way she has podcast outlines, organizes all the content. When I got to the studio, there was like a TV to see how I look. She has her camera, her tripod, her equipment, her outlines, her documents. Like, she is truly that girl. Not only that, she has this massive agency, an amazing podcast, a huge following on social media, but also she is the kindest, most down-to-earth, like sweetest person I think I've ever met in the world of social media. You never know what people are like in real life. And I have to say, Alyssa is probably the kindest, most down-to-earth person I've ever met. So this week, we're gonna be talking about lifestyle content, how to grow as a lifestyle content creator in just a minute. And then next week, we're gonna talk about growing as a content creator CEO, selling without selling, generating revenue, like turning social media truly into a business. And I'm so excited. So we're gonna jump into the meeting, see everything Alyssa has to tell us today. Then we're gonna have a little coffee chat, a little after work social, some updates. So with all that being said, we have the honor of having Alyssa on the podcast. Let's get into it. Let's go to work together today with Alyssa. Let's get into it. Before we get into the rest of the video, when thinking about growing your brand, your business on social media in 2025, one of the biggest things that content creators and entrepreneurs miss is protecting your personal assets by registering your LLC. An LLC separates your personal assets from your business assets, which is such an important step as a creator and as an entrepreneur, which is where today's sponsor comes in, Taylor Brands. They are so amazing. They make launching your LLC so seamless, so easy. And today I'm so excited to tell you about their LLC formation kit. You guys, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Look at this custom LLC formation kit. It says Busy Blooming on it. I have never seen anything like this. Taylor Brands truly does everything like nobody else. Getting an LLC formation kit with Taylor Brands gives you everything you need to stay prepared and ready for growth right at your fingertips. So your LLC formation kit gives you a custom binder and seal, key documents, like look at this, it literally says Busy Blooming, and so many proven tips and tricks. It's your business's ultimate companion because it saves you time, it keeps you compliant, and it showcases your business. And registering with Taylor Brands isn't just about getting your LLC, they're a business builder. It's about setting up your business for long-term success. You'll be able to unlock a free personalized business plan, legal documents, and even bookkeeping tools all in one place. As a content creator, it is so important to treat your online brand like a real business, and Taylor Brands helps you do just that in such a stress-free way. So if you're ready to grow on social media while building a legit business, check out the link in my description or the pinned comment and get started with Taylor Brands today, and you'll get 35% off LLC plans, where you can also receive your own LLC formation kit. You guys, this quality and this whole thing is the coolest thing ever. It'll make you feel so legit. So definitely go check out Taylor Brands. They're absolutely amazing. I will link everything down below for 35% off LLC plans, and let's get into the video.
Ready to go, ready to work in my Busy Blooming merch.
Yeah, you guys, I'm sure everyone for the most part is watching the video on Spotify or YouTube, but we are matching. We're in a work uniform today.
Yeah. Precisely that.
Yeah.
Precisely that.
Well, I'm so excited to learn from you today on the podcast. I selfishly have so many things I want to learn, and I know everyone at Busy Blooming feels the exact same. You are somebody that always comes up for me, like either in a one-on-one call, in the comments, like we always get tagged together and everything.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm so excited. So we did part 1 on your podcast a couple of weeks ago in LA in person. That was so fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And it was so fun to have you there. And this is just going to be such a perfect, like literally like perfect part 2. So I'm excited for all the questions and all the things and yeah, to get to work.
Yeah, we have to get to work. We have actually a lot to do today. We have a big agenda. You are somebody who I can't make a podcast episode without referencing you or quoting you, especially when it comes to lifestyle content. I feel like that is something you talk about in a way that just nobody else does. So I'm so excited to dive into lifestyle content. How to be a lifestyle influencer. It's just not how it used to be back in the day, becoming a lifestyle creator. So let's unpack that because I have so many questions, and I know the lifestyle girlies at Busy Blooming are sick of me saying like, one day we'll have Alyssa on the podcast and unpack lifestyle, and that day is today. I think the best place to start is, what do you consider a lifestyle influencer? Because there's so many types, like creators, influencers. Like, could you unpack that a little bit from your perspective?
Yeah. So lifestyle influencer is such a big umbrella, right? It's such a big, like just general umbrella. And the first thing, actually, let me backtrack. Sure. First thing I want to say is I always mention Tess on my calls, my content as well. So it goes both ways. Embrace the cringe, queen of that. But the thing that I find with really effective lifestyle influencers is that lifestyle is a part of their content and not just this like overall umbrella. Like they still have structure and their lifestyle is still really specific. So what I find creators really struggle with when they want to like get into lifestyle content is that they just kind of use it as like an umbrella to do everything.
Yeah.
Without any strategy and without any structure. And then they wonder like, oh, like, why is it not working? And they'll give me an example of someone like, oh, well, it works for this person. It works for this person. And I actually see, and I'm like, well, the lifestyle is actually very specific. The content pillars are very specific. The personal brand is very specific. So the advice that I would give to someone that like wants to start getting into more lifestyle content is, one, it's not an excuse to just like throw everything out there. Your personal brand is not your personal diary. We can get there, but it's not just this kind of like free for all. It's not the best for your strategy to do it that way. And then the second thing is have something specific. Like everyone wants to be a lifestyle creator, but no one knows what's the actual lifestyle you're trying to show. So get really specific there. And then obviously I went on into a tangent. So to answer your actual question, when I think about a really strong lifestyle creator is someone that has a very specific lifestyle that they're showing online instead of like, oh, I'm just going to do a bunch of vlogs.
Yeah, people often bring up Emily Kaiser, Alex Earl. Like when people say, I want to be a lifestyle influencer like Emily, she just posts whatever she wants, whatever she feels like every single day. And what I find with lifestyle is their strategy is so good, you just can't see it. It feels like they don't have one.
Exactly.
I think sometimes too, I don't know if you find this, I feel like this as a creator too. It's like when you think of lifestyle, like, okay, I'm just going to share a day in my life. And that's what I'm going to do. So maybe could you talk through a little bit why that content that worked like 10 years ago, week in my life, day in my life, where you kind of just post whatever you feel like without a strategy. Why do you think that doesn't work anymore? And like, what is better to do instead if you want to show your life or vlog?
Yes. So one thing and one reason why it just doesn't work anymore is because it's been done. It's been done time and time again. Like, yeah, we can think about people like Emily Kaiser and Alex Earl, but YouTube vloggers have existed for years and years and years before this. So we know what that is. We know what that looks like. And social media is always evolving and changing. So instead of trying to just copy what you see works for somebody else. And actually, the other thing I will say is you don't know how long that person like took to get there. Emily Kaiser, for example, I think she's really almost like coined that like ASMR-y style of vlog. Yeah. So that's one of those things where it's a timing thing, right? She was like one of the first people that started to really pop off there, and then everybody else followed. And then, you know, it kind of just goes into that like, okay, well now it kind of looks the same. There's nothing unique. There's nothing different. Whereas before it was unique and it was different and it was really refreshing to see. But now that people started catching on, it's hard to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to do this, because now a lot of people are doing it and now somebody else has already kind of claimed that. So instead of trying to just simply copy the format, I like to advise people to get really specific with what's the lifestyle that you're trying to quote unquote sell. That doesn't mean you're selling an actual product, but at the end of the day, this is a brand, right? It's not you, it's your brand. So what's the specific lifestyle? Who are you online? Emily Kaiser, really good example, like mom next door. So the common through line, whether she's doing a face to cam, day in the life, vlog, whatever, she has that personal brand. That's her common through line. So before even saying like, oh, I want to do a vlog, I want to do in the day in the life, like who are you specifically? Get down to that. Like if you could just kind of give me one sentence, like if a movie was going to be made about you and we're casting, the top Hollywood stars and we're like, hey, we're going to make this movie about this person. Her character is blank and it's only going to be one sentence. Who would that be? What would that be? And then start there.
I love that question. That's such a good way to think about it. I love what you say too about unselfish vlogs. And that is genius. So could you talk a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah, so unselfish vlogs came from something that is grammatically incorrect. So try to make it a little bit more memorable than selfless. But unselfish vlogs really came from this pattern I was seeing from people that really were essentially copying what old YouTubers were doing, the day in the life, today I woke up at 6 a.m. and then I brushed my teeth and then I ate a banana and then I went to the gym. And then they wonder like, why are people not eating this up? Like, why are people not loving it? And I'm like, well, because it's very selfish. It's all about you and your day. And there's nowhere where I can fit. And the reality is listen, I love it girl energy. Okay. I love that. But when other people are scrolling, we also have that like it girl energy, main character energy. And if we think about it from like a more psychological standpoint, our ego is feeding our action. So our ego is literally guiding us to be like, can I resonate with this? Is this relevant to me? Is this entertaining, inspiring, whatever? And it's happening so quickly that if you do show me like today I woke up at 6 and ate a banana and went to the gym, my ego is immediately like, well, this has nothing to do with me at all.
Totally.
And it's not really meant to be like, okay, well, you have to give only educational content or an unselfish vlog is only educational. It's not that at all. It's just that it's already about you. It's your name, it's your face, it's your day. It's inherently about you. So if now your voiceover or your text overlay is also about you, then I don't fit, right? I don't belong there. So trying to think about it that way, it's not like, oh, like nobody cares about me. It's like, well, you haven't actually invited me to be a part of your day. So then we're on socials. So why would I want to be a part of that? I can just scroll.
Yeah, I love that so much. We talk about being outward focused, like outward versus inward focus all the time over here. Could you say for example, I'm thinking, okay, I want to be a lifestyle creator. I want to vlog. I want to show my life. I want to do day in the life or week of my life content. What's a good way as a creator I could kind of organize that? Like, is it as simple as picking like one part of your day to theme outwardly, or how do you kind of package it so it is more unselfish?
Yeah, that's actually a really good way. There's a million and one ways to do it, which is it makes it fun and creative, but also makes it kind of confusing because you have an infinite amount of options. But that is one way. So maybe you don't tell me about your entire morning routine until you went to bed, but you focus on one specific part of your day and what you're trying to accomplish for that day. So in storytelling, very basic, like you've learned about this in elementary school, very basic guide to storytelling is there's a character, there's a setting, there's a plot, and there's, which is really, really important, the conflict, what you're trying to achieve. So maybe you focus on that. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to become a morning person? Are you trying to see if your gym crush will notice you? Are you, whatever it is, like have something to try to achieve. Because then that's when somebody can see themselves in you as the character. And if we think about plays and movies and musicals and all that, my theater is coming out. We like characters not just because of what they do, but because we can see ourselves in them, or make judgment on them. That's also another part. And people could very well be doing that to you. So really treating your vlog as in a more storytelling angle, and almost like, your own like mini reality TV show. I find that is a really good way to just tell a more cohesive, engaging story than listing out what they already see.
Right, because the content's really not that different. Like, it's like the same footage of you, let's say, going to the gym morning routine, but you're just packaging it with something. I love rather than saying, come to the gym with me, vlog, it's like, let's go see if I can get my gym crush's attention. Like, it's this exact same thing, but just making it a little bit themed. And I like the reality TV piece too.
Yeah.
I think too, sometimes people want to be a lifestyle creator, does that to you mean always vlogging? Like is vloggers and lifestyle creators, is that kind of the same thing in your eyes?
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be. I like there's someone coming to mind, but I can't her handle is not in my head, but a lot of like face to cams too. You could do you could even be like a fashion creator and a lifestyle creator as long as you're very specific with like the actual lifestyle. Like again, like yes, you're doing fashion, but what's the lifestyle that you're actually showing? Are you always busy or are you always on the go? Are you know what I mean? Like you have to get specific there. Vlogs are not the only way to do that. And I would also say if you already have a set content pillars like fashion or cooking or anything like that, it doesn't mean that you need to do vlogs to show your lifestyle. Like your lifestyle and your personality should be intertwined within that. So if you're someone that's always on the go, maybe a way that we can infuse your lifestyle within content that is already working is maybe you are doing recipes from or inspired by like fast food restaurants or this other restaurant. So it's like, oh yeah, she's always on the go, she's always moving, but the anchor and the content pillar is tied to food.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just say like, oh, I want to be a lifestyle creator and like, just like do vlogs. But your lifestyle should very much and can be very much intertwined with the things that are already working so that it's not just like, okay, like now I have to do vlogs. It's like, okay, well maybe let's start with something that's already working and then pivot from there.
Yeah, I find vlogs too. I think it's just because they've been around forever. If people have, everyone has similar content strategy. Like day in my life or day in my life. It's interesting how I am the same. I started out doing 9 to 5 vlogs for years, and no one watched them. And I was always wondering myself, why? Why isn't watching my life? It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm very interesting.
I'm so interesting, my 9 to 5 corporate job. But I think it's really actually quite hard and to unlearn that, to think like, okay, actually, it's not that just nobody cares, but it's because social media has changed a lot over the years. I wanted to talk a little bit about niching down, because you again have so many good concept and phrases that are just no one else has. But the niche down within yourself, like I love that. Could you talk a little bit about that and what you mean and how creators can use that?
Yes. So first point, and I know a lot of people love to say like F a niche, you don't need a niche, da, 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 da. But let's talk about it in a little bit more strategic sense. Niches work for a reason. It is I wouldn't say the easy way out because there are some challenges there, but it's clear and concise. And when you're trying to market, which that's what every single content creator, even if you haven't made this your job yet, you're still marketing your brand. It works with clarity and structure. And that's where a lot of people get slipped up. So I don't like to say like, oh, we should forget about a niche, because you can take something that's working and make it your own as opposed to trying to start from scratch.
Yes.
So why I like niche down within yourself is I actually agree. I do think you should niche down, but not in a topic, but in who you are. So it kind of goes back to like, who are you online, and getting very specific, because actually I think we are really good examples of this, because we could overlap in topics and content pillars, but the way in which we talk about it, the why and the how and the tone and the verbiage and the style of content is so different, because I am me and you are you. And that's what's so amazing and great. And then our girly pops, can watch one of your videos, you talking about something one way and then me talking about something one way, and then it might spark this thing and that thing because of the way that we talk about it. So it's not what you say, and you say this a lot, it's like it's not what you say, it's how you package it, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it, because I don't want people to get caught up in thinking they need to have like the most revolutionary idea at all. Actually, you don't, because you might even just be confusing people, but I would rather have you specify on how you do something over thinking yourself to the ground on what you should do.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's creators, it is really hard to pick your lane on social media. Like how do you, there's probably everyone listening probably has so many things you're interested in. There's a million things, pieces of your life, different things that you want to share. And so I get the concept of a niche. I feel like niching, the advice, when did that even like come up? Was that like COVID, like 5 years ago?
Because I started my business January 2021, and that's when I was hearing it of like, pick a niche, you have to niche down, da, 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 da. And like I got it. Like it's marketing. You go to any marketing class. Go to any entry level marketing class. That's what they're gonna tell you. But the difference is that when we're learning about marketing in like a professional setting or like in class, it is very like logistic, right? Kind of business oriented. And the thing about being in the creator economy is that the logistics and the analytical side is equal to the creative side. So I think that's why people feel like, oh my gosh, like how can I do a niche? Like my creative soul, it hurts. But that makes sense because in the creator economy, they're equal in weight. Whereas when we first learned about marketing, the creative like wasn't even a part of the conversation.
Yeah. I feel like with niching too, we lose the plot when you pick a niche because then you're like, my niche is fitness. And that's your content strategy, is that your niche is fitness. Like, I feel like it's really, really hard to execute on that. So I'd love you to see about niche now yourself. We say too, don't pick a niche, build a brand instead. But I've been, not to say like you aren't picking niche at all. You eventually have to pick. I hate the word niche for some reason. I feel like
know it sounds like such a bad word.
I know, but I like the idea of like picking a topic and building a brand. Like you're so like you always talk about that, like building a brand, standing out, all of that. And I feel like a lot of people talk about content don't lean into that, and that is what makes the difference. Like think about how many people do Aaron's vlogs, and like you immediately think of Emily Kaiser or other people because of their brand. So speaking of that a little bit more, could you talk a little bit about anything you've seen, whether either like with one-on-ones or just as a viewer yourself, of what really works for lifestyle creators and why you think people are more successful than others?
Yes. Okay. So a few things, and something I talk about a lot on my page, and it's actually something I started talking about in 2022, I think, but signature style series. That's just been something that not only I just love to do, I think it's because I failed as an actress, and this is like my way of like crawling back and having some of that because it's very it's storyboarding essentially. Like if any of you listening, if you do theater or anything like that, like storyboarding, scripting, it's acting 101. It's like the first thing that you learn about in acting class. So signature style series, and why I love this so much is because it is repeatable. It's consistent. People can recognize you for it. It's almost like creating this you-coded template that you can always fall back on. I actually just made a post about this. Nara Smith is a really good example because it's essentially the same thing over and over and over again with like different fonts. That's really what it is. And that's what makes it so special too. And like I said before, you don't have to come up with the most revolutionary idea. She doesn't have actually a revolutionary idea. She's doing recipes. Like the Food Network has existed for years, but it's her signature elements that she puts in there that make it so special, like her soft voice and the jazzy music and the ridiculous outfits. And almost like this sarcastic humor, like that she's going to make gum from scratch. And we're like, oh, gum from scratch. Wow. That's really engaging and enticing. So one, signature style series, right? Because that's repeatable content. But even if you don't have like a signature style series yet, at least having signature elements is huge. And I'll even admit, like, I don't really have like a signature style, and I do this, right? Like this is my job, and I don't even have one for myself because I'm like trying to help all my clients do it. But I will say I do have like very like signature elements, right? Like the place that I'm filming right now, I'm always pretty much filming there. I have my Totoro in the background. You coded, it girl energy, niche down within yourself, unselfish vlog, signature style series, little elements like that. Those are still just as important. And just because you don't have a series doesn't mean you can't nail those down. And going back to marketing 101, like think about big brands like Nike and McDonald's, they have their catchphrases and slogans. The more that you can find things to repeat, the better. So whether it is a series or whether it is just like small signature elements, that's really what can make you stand out because it's consistent, repeatable, and therefore will make you memorable.
A signature series, I feel like, is one of the best ways to grow. I did a series back in 2023, 100 days to 100K, and it was like all about whatever, just like growing on social and different things. But I feel like I think sometimes creators too, you feel like whether you're picking like your signature elements or your signature series, you have to do it forever on social media. Like that's going to be like a sentence for life of like who you are on social media. Which it's daunting. So they're like, I don't want to pick certain things because I don't want to do that forever. But do you have any advice for anybody who feels like, okay, maybe they've like picked certain things or they're not necessarily resonating with their brand? Like how do you navigate that as a creator?
Yeah. Well, one, you need to give it time. Like the rule of sevens in marketing, you need to hear something 7 times to remember it, 27 times to make an empowered purchase decision, probably more now because our attention spans are like a grain of rice. So repeat it over and over and over again. And I think I actually have a really good case study to this. So I think my first video ever that I made about unselfish vlogs was in 2022. Because that's when I started to work on this with my clients. It's 2025 now. Now, the first time that I started talking about it, it did gain a lot of traction, but I would say it's way bigger now than it was in 2022. So this kind of like need for like overnight success, I've never had it. So you can I really have a lot of experience here. I've never had an overnight success before, but I loved the idea, and the idea was working because it was working for my clients. So I knew it was worth pursuing. It was worth not giving up. So if you have a really good idea that you like really, really like, I love this. This is so me. I'm getting good results from it, or it's working in the back end somewhere, hold on to it and like keep trying to refine. And that's what I did is like, okay, I talked about it one way, and okay, then I can talk about it a different way. I'm experimenting with my clients one way, and then you'll refine. And then eventually it might hit after a few years, which is, it's kind of just the name of the game. Now, if you've been trying to like find something that sticks and it doesn't, like, don't be afraid to experiment. There's so many. I literally have a note app, or what is it? A note page in my notes app of like, it's called my made up marketing dictionary. And it's all these phrases that I've made up because that it just makes sense to me to like make things up. Not all of them hit like an unselfish vlog or niche down within yourself. Not all of them hit, but it's like, okay, like if I try them out more and more and more, that just is giving me more data to be like, okay, what's really, really hitting? That doesn't mean I've let go of any of those things, but it just shows that like, okay, out of like my 10 ideas, these are the 3 that are really hitting that I can go super heavy on. But you're only going to know that if you put it out there, because that's the data that you're going to make that decision from.
I love that so much. And you did another video recently about you made the same video topic twice in like one. I think you're talking about like confidence as a creator, to just like film the idea when you have it, like that video. And so I feel like too, as creators, it's easy to you feel repetition because you don't want to say the same thing over and over again, but there's actually so much good in doing that because you learn every time. I resonate. I have the same, like there's so many, like I have this 3-month busy bloom method to growing. I've said that in so many different ways and so many different platforms, and it's like you learn every time because it's like we're saying, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. And there's so many ways you can say the same thing. So like it's the testing is really hard though. It's like your ego, right? Because you're like, I don't want this to flop.
Yes, it's the creative. It's that creative side of you. So as a content creator, you are balancing your CEO side, logistic, business, analytical, and the creative side. And the creative side never likes to do the same thing twice. Think about an artist, right? An artist has to continue to make something new and fresh and innovative, and they don't want to repeat themselves. They're always leveling up, which is why being, a creator CEO is so cool and so different. But we have to balance that out because you will not remember, like just kind of even thinking about the way that we consume content, you don't remember the video that you just watched all the way through. There's no way. Someone could say something to you and you could forget, or you might see someone's face and only watch half of the video and then you don't finish it, or they say it in one way and you don't finish it. Like out of all the faces, you're not gonna like, wait, be so for real. Like, I don't even know what I had for dinner last week. Like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. I don't know. Not my business. You could not tell me. So think about repetition as helping. You help me remember you when you repeat yourself more.
Yeah. Yes. And then it actually builds your brand because if you say the same thing over and over in different ways, you're getting into people's minds. Like that's your thing. That's what you talk about. And people need to hear the same thing over and over for it to resonate, whether it's like advice or a tip or even a style of vlog as well. Okay, that's a great transition into our next topic. Before we get into that, do you have any last pieces of advice for anybody listening who wants to be a lifestyle creator, more of an influencer? Any last tips that we didn't cover? I feel like we covered a lot.
I mean, we covered a lot, but I would say always come back to why and how. Your why and how is so unique. It's you, it's different. And I know it's so cheesy to be like, you are the only you. But you really are, and you can leverage that. So when you are planning your content, right, you got your Notion, you got your planner, whatever it is, maybe your, I don't know, busy blooming planner.
Yeah,
I don't know. Period. Don't go into what am I going to post today? You're already setting yourself up for sabotage. Don't go into the what. Go why, how first and then go into the what. Second little tip I'll say is cut your inspo scrolling in half. While you're inspo scrolling, very disrespectful to yourself. You already know you have 20,000 ideas. So let's start there as opposed, and you already know, like, when people inspo scroll, they know it's bad. It's truly a bad habit. Like when you bite your nails, like when you do it, you know you're gonna regret it later on, and we still do it. So give yourself something immediate to do. Something I tell my girlies is that, okay, if you feel the itch to inspo scroll, we need to have something that you can do immediately to replace that habit. So maybe it is scrolling your own camera roll, scrolling your own feed, opening your analytics. Put something in the way, get in the way of your own bad habit, and then go from there. And then you'll find that, like, either you don't even need to inspo scroll anymore, or even if you do just a little bit, you'll have like these like blinders on to help you actually get real inspiration or true ideas over like drowning in, damn, like I should do that because that's way better than anything I could ever think, which is, again, very disrespectful to yourself.
Totally. I feel like scrolling on social media kills creativity. Like, I am the most creative after I take a break. Like, it's just the most fun. Like, I can create this own like separate thing I've never seen before, because you're just inundated with ideas and people and comparison and like all these things. It's funny how being on social media is like the worst way to grow. I find it's just like constantly scrolling. It's like getting off of it is such a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Like, everyone take your notes, get ready. Like, it's time. We're gonna become lifestyle creators after this. I'm so excited. Okay, so that was about $10,000 worth of pure gold about lifestyle content creation. I think one of my biggest regrets of 2025 is going to be not booking like 2 or 3 hours with her, because so many things she said I wanted to dive into deeper. We will do one day a part 3, 4, 5, 6. But for today, I wanted to dive into a few things that she said and kind of take what she said and dive into a little bit of how you can execute it every single week as a creator. Alyssa just has the best method with this, and what I gathered from all of what she said is that the key to being a good lifestyle content creator is building a brand around yourself that has really signature elements, has clarity, structure, and repetition. You need to first of all accept that not every single part of us, our personality, and our life needs to be in our business and in our brand, because social media is our business if we're taking it seriously. And you need to just pick, we talked about this last episode, like 2 or 3 things about your life and make those super signature to you and repeat them in every single video. Whether it's like your filming setup or what you're wearing, your personality, your experience. I always talk about corporate, the way I talk, I always film in here. Like, those things are in every single piece of content. So creating a little brand checklist for yourself of like, okay, what are the 2 to 3 things about me that I'm gonna have in every single video? And it can be really hard and kind of like a deeper thing, because you're thinking, okay, but like, who am I? And what do I want those big things to be? And what parts of me do I want to be at the forefront of my brand? Like, it's a very big, deep question, and it's really hard, but I encourage you, like we were saying in the last series, like, just pick something and go with it. You can change it over time if you're like, okay, this is not the signature things I want. You can even take the framework we built out in the last episode and like plug these into the brand section. And going off of that, my favorite tip that Alyssa gave in the whole interview is that in your vlog content of a day in your life, a work week in your life, a morning routine, is to add in some conflict. The coolest thing with Alyssa is that she has a theater background, so everything when she talks about content creation, she's talking about being the main character and storyboarding, and there's a conflict. Like, for example, if you're watching an episode of Friends, it's not just like a day in their life. There's a conflict, there's a theme, because again, it can be really hard as a lifestyle creator to think about, how do I make this outward focus? How do I make this not about me? And the best way to do that, like Alyssa said, is to add in a conflict. So for example, rather than just doing a day in your life or a week in your life, it has a theme, it has a conflict. So it could be showing how much money you're making in that day if you own a small business, or let's see if I'm still happy by the end of the workday, or let's see if waking up at 5 a.m. actually makes me more productive today, or let's see if I get my work crush's attention today. Like, you have some theme going on. It's the exact same clips, but the voiceover, the packaging, the branding, the conflict, the story, the point of the video is there. It's not just the point of the video is the day in your life and you're explaining exactly what you're doing. There's like an overarching story and theme. This is like the deconstructing you have to do, that a day in my life or a work week in my life is a good content strategy. In 2025, you have to add in those signature elements to you and some sort of conflict or theme or storytelling to really bring the audience in. And that really is the key to being a lifestyle content creator and making it outward focused about the audience, but it's your life, because you're bringing them in, you're making them emotionally connected to what you're doing. Another example of this is not just doing a get ready with me for the day or get ready with me for work. It's like adding in a theme to it. You're getting ready and talking about how much money you make, or your salaries, or your advice on having a 9-to-5 job, or like a crazy embarrassing story at work, or like something else that you can like theme and add into all your different pieces of lifestyle content. I love that advice so much. And what all of this comes back to is really thinking and deciding what you want to be known for and what you want your legacy to be, because you can use vlog style content, get ready with me, what I eat in a day, outfits, like all this lifestyle content themed around a certain brand. If you can make it more health focused, mental health focused, corporate focused, fashion focused, relationships, confidence, but it's really deciding what that overarching brand and legacy you want to be is. That's always the first step with all of this. So I hope this video was helpful. I love talking to Alyssa so much. Next week's episode will be all about business and being a content CEO. We also talk about having a lifestyle content pillar next week as well. So I'm so excited for that. But that concludes today's little work session. Now we have a little post-work, after-work social as we do. I have a few updates for you of the busy blooming world. So if you don't want to know updates of what's going on with me, busy blooming, feel free to click out. Work is over. But I have a few things I want to update you on. So let's get into that. Thanks for coming to work with us together today. And let's get into our little post-work social session. Okay, work is complete for the day. It is so fun to have a guest on the podcast, on the channel over here. I've never done that with this new show. If you have any other guests you would like to bring on the show every once in a while, I have one more guest lined up who I know you guys are gonna love, then let me know. It's really fun to have guests over here. And speaking of guests, a couple of weeks ago, flew out to California and I was on Kenzie Elizabeth's podcast, house guest at Dear Media. And then I went up to Orange County and was on Alyssa's podcast. We did a swap. And when I tell you, I have never done an in-person interview ever in my life. I've been on a lot of podcasts, like virtually, and I've done public speaking before, like panels. I went to Elevate in Toronto. I've had busy blooming events where I do panels, but I've never done an in-person like podcast. And these were two really good ones to go on first because I know both Kenzie, I know Alyssa, and I've been mutuals with them for a couple of years. I had Kenzie on the podcast like 3 years ago when I had the old audio only show like way back. So the first podcast I ever went on in person was at the Dear Media Studios in Hollywood with Kenzie, and that was a really good show to go on first because I know Kenzie, her podcast style is very like chill. Also, I felt like when I was on both the podcasts talking about you and us and like the busy blooming office is so fun knowing that like you might watch the episode. For Kenzie's show, she doesn't do outlines, it's like very chatty, so it's very like calm, peaceful to go on. I'm not sure when that episode goes out, but it was like so fun. But I have to say, going to Dear Media in West Hollywood was like the coolest thing ever. I was not playing it cool when I saw Kenzie. I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Dear Media is one of those things. It's like, if you know, you know, like going in the elevator up and seeing the Dear Media thing, walking in and going through the hallway, and has all the different recording studios like down the hallway of all the ones we've seen of like every background from all the Dear Media podcasts. And in the lobby, it has like the TVs with all the podcasts playing, and everyone is so nice. It was so fun. It was like the two best podcasts I could have dreamt of to do my first two in person. I feel so honored to have gone on both those podcasts, and I really want to do more of that, like traveling, going on podcasts, speaking more. We will always remember the first two shows, and now I'm back and it's Q2, and thank goodness. What a way to end Q1, truly. You guys know me, I always do my content in seasons, like treat every quarter with like a new strategy, new content pillars, new series, like new everything. And for this quarter for me, I'm actually not going to be doing a big 3-month strategy video, just because I feel like lately over here we've done a lot of different like challenges and strategies. I don't want it to be like too much execution strategy and like things to try. We've had a lot of that lately, especially with the 30-day Instagram challenge. But I was thinking instead, let me know your thoughts on this. What I was thinking on short form, I don't know if you remember, if you followed me for this long, but I used to do this thing called Content 30. This was back in 2023. I think I might have done it in 2024 at the very beginning of the year. It's like a 30-day Instagram challenge. It's like 75 hard style for content creators. I was thinking of doing a 45-day like content challenge. I had this like fun idea of spending like 45 minutes a day on certain things as creators to kind of get us set up for the summer, like kind of out of the content rut you might be feeling from Q1. So let me know if you want that. I would do it over on Instagram, but let me know if you'd be interested in like a 45-day challenge into June, like from now till June, where you post every single day for 45 days. There's like certain rules. I think that could be fun instead of doing like a video over here of a 3-month strategy. So let me know. But for Q2, I'm really excited. I have a fresh set of content pillars. I'm going to be trying some new stuff out over on Instagram, over on TikTok that I've never really done. My number one priority for Q2 is going to be Instagram, and then obviously on YouTube every week or so. I think every 10 days or so we'll do an episode over here. Speaking of Instagram, I'm officially done with the 30-day challenge that we did back in February and March. I wanted to give you my final results. I want to do this challenge again. March for me, I was actually really sick for a big period of like end of February, March, so I feel like I didn't get the full extent, but some of you have been absolutely crushing it. You can go to the hashtag busyblooming on Instagram and see like people are absolutely blowing up, which makes me so happy and like so excited. So if you want to join the challenge, I'll link everything down below. It's totally free. It's just from a YouTube video. There's a Notion calendar. You just download everything, watch the video, pick a day to start, and then you can start it. For my final results from the Instagram challenge, so I posted every single day for 30 days. I grew just over 6,000 followers. My most viewed thing I posted was two carousels hit 100,000 views. Both of those carousels took me under 5 minutes. My most viewed reel was this one with 20,000 views. It's a few seconds long, text on screen, trending sound, so classic. The biggest tip that I learned from doing the challenge, firstly, is that carousels are just like crushing right now. They're way outperforming reels, like completely. Everyone's saying that right now. Like if you want to go on Instagram, just post carousels. But the biggest tip that I learned is using our favorite girl, ChatGPT. When you have long form content, like if you have a podcast, if you have YouTube, or just if you have a lot of old content from like TikTok or old videos, putting those into ChatGPT to make carousels. Like that's what I've been doing. Those two carousels that have like 100,000 views plus, those are actually old YouTube scripts that I pulled, and I gave them to ChatGPT and I said, can you make this into a notes app carousel just like this one carousel? So I would paste in a link from another one, and I would say, can you turn this YouTube script into 5 carousels that I could put, copy and paste into notes app? Because the 5 hours per week to 100K is this YouTube video, and then the take social media seriously is this YouTube video. So these carousels are from these scripts. They just summarize those 2 videos into a different format, which I think is the biggest tip I've learned of how to create content really fast, but then also grow and also post every single day without spending hours and hours on content. Like carousels right now is such an opportunity to grow if you're really busy, but it was really fun. It was a good challenge for me. Instagram has never been a platform I've really posted on. It's always been TikTok and YouTube for me. So going to 2025, Instagram was like a huge goal of mine. So go check out my Instagram, Busy Blooming's Instagram as well, if you want to see how that goes. But let me know if you did the challenge, what were your results? I had so many people message me like they've grown 5,000, 10,000, even more followers, which makes me so happy because I feel like Instagram can feel really daunting and like really confusing. And right now is like the best time to grow. The carousel is going on right now. Anyways, I'm so excited for this quarter. I have something so big launching. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it next week in the episode with Alyssa, talking about business and launches and selling and all of that. But I'm so excited. It's the spring. Thank goodness Q1 is over. The winter and the beginning of the year is always, I feel like, the hardest time for content creators, and every quarter from now is just going to get better. Thank you for all the love, the comments, the views, like just the DMs, taking your time out of your day to watch this podcast, leave a comment, which you do not have to do. Send me a DM. Like it's you, we just have like the kindest, nicest community over here at Busy Blooming. I'm so grateful. There's like nothing like us. Like I really feel that way. Going to work together in every single episode is so fun. I love this like coworker vibe we have. I love that you love it too. I saw all the comments on the last episode that you're loving this new like vibe branding corporate as well. And trust me, something is launching very soon that will take that even further. I'm getting back into my like coaching era again. I'm so excited. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Alyssa. I'm so excited to have her on again in the next episode. And thank you again to Taylor Brands for sponsoring this video. Make sure to go check them out, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.